Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. What you are looking at right now is more than just a globe. It's a symbol of possibility. It represents the dreams of millions of children across our planet who deserve quality education. And today, I am here to share with you how we can make these dreams a reality. We are going to talk about redesigning educational frameworks, not just tweaking what exists, but fundamentally transforming how learning systems work for the 21st century. Because the world has changed dramatically and our education systems need to catch up fast. So let's begin. The global education crisis. Let me start with some hard truths. Numbers that should shake us to our core. 244 million children are out of school globally. Think about that 244 million futures on hold. 244 million minds that could solve tomorrow's biggest challenges, sitting idle because they are denied access to education. But here is what's even more disturbing. 617 million children are in school, but they are experiencing what we call learning poverty. They cannot read or do basic math despite attending classes. They show up every day, they sit in classrooms, but they are not actually learning. Look at this number here. Only 1.7% of GDP is spent on education in developing countries. That's a fraction of what's needed. We are essentially telling an entire generation that their future is not worth investing in. And 12 million girls are married before they turn 18 every single year. Marriage becomes the end of their education, the end of their potential, and the end of their choices. Now, here is the critical insight I want you to understand. The crisis runs deeper than access. While enrollment has improved, quality remains the critical bottleneck. Students are completing primary school without basic literacy skills. They are graduating, but they are not prepared. They are certified, but they are not competent. This is the reality we are facing. This is what we need to change. So why does this crisis persist? Because there are 6 systemic obstacles that create a perfect storm of failure. And these barriers don't exist in isolation. They are interconnected. They reinforce each other, and addressing all of them simultaneously is essential for real transformation. Let me walk you through each one. First, inadequate funding. This affects every aspect of educational delivery. No money means no resources. No resources means no quality. That is simple. It's that simple. It's that devastating. Second, quality deficits. Our curricula are outdated. They focus on rote memorization instead of critical thinking. We are preparing students for a world that no longer exists, using methods that never truly work. Third, access and equity disparities. Significant gaps exist based on socioeconomic status, based on gender, based on geography. Your zip code should not determine your future, but right now it does. Fourth, infrastructure gaps. We are talking about schools lacking basic facilities, no electricity, no internet, no proper sanitation. How can we expect students to focus on quantum physics when they don't have access to a clean bathroom? Fifth, governance failures. Ghost schools that exist only on paper, diploma mills that undermine system credibility, corruption that steals resources from the children who need them most. And sixth, skills mismatch. There is an overemphasis on grades versus practical workforce skills. Students graduate with certificates but cannot get jobs because they lack the competencies employers actually need. These 6 barriers create the crisis, and addressing all of them simultaneously is not optional, it's essential for systemic change. Escuela Nueva, Colombia's revolution. But there is the good news. Solutions exist, proven solutions, and they work. Let me tell you about Escuela Nueva from Colombia. This is transformative student-centered learning that has now spread across 16 countries. This is not theory. This is practice. This is results. What makes it revolutionary? 4 core innovations. Small group learning with personalized guides. Students are not passive recipients, they are active participants working together, learning at their own pace, supporting each other's growth. Teachers as facilitator, providing feedback. The role shifts from lecturer to guide, from authority figure to mentor. Teachers become architects of learning experiences rather than deliverers of information. Self-paced learning with modular curriculum. Every child learns differently at different speed with different needs. Why should education be one size fit for all? It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. And Escuela Noiva proves it doesn't have to be. And cooperative learning, building social skills, because the jobs of tomorrow require collaboration, communication, empathy. You can't learn those from a textbook, you learn them by working together. Now the measurable impact, look at these numbers: 19% higher math scores, 12% higher language scores. These are not marginal improvements, these are game-changing results. And here is what really blew my mind. Rural schools outperformed urban ones. The students who are supposed to be disadvantaged, they excelled. They proved that with the right approach, geography doesn't determine destiny. This started as a pilot in 1976. By 2013, it won the Wise Prize, recognized globally as educational excellence. From a single classroom experiment to a movement spanning continents. That is the power of innovation that actually works. Now let me show you another model, Bridge International Academies. This is technology-enabled, vertically integrated education delivering quality at scale. They are operating 450 plus schools across 3 countries. They are charging $5 per month, $5. That is less than what many of us spend on coffee in a single day. And they are reaching families living on $2 per day. How do they do it? 6 core innovations that change everything. Scripted lesson plans with detailed step-by-step instructions. This eliminates the preparation burden on teachers and ensure consistency across all classrooms. Every child gets the same high-quality instruction regardless of which school they attend. Real-time data, instant attendance and assessment recording. School administrators know immediately who is present, who is struggling, who is excelling. No more waiting weeks for test results. Decisions can be made today based on data from today. 100% teacher support that eliminates prep burden. Teachers can focus on what matters most, connecting with students, understanding their needs, adapting to their learning styles. Technology handles the logistics. Mobile payments for cashless fee collection. No lost money, no excuses, no barriers. Parents can pay from their phones, simple, efficient, transparent. Video training for locally recruited teachers. Quality instruction doesn't require expensive foreign expertise. Quality instruction doesn't require expensive foreign expertise. Local teachers, properly trained and continuously supported, deliver excellent results. Quality monitoring with continuous assessment tracking. The system knows what's working and what's not in real time, allowing for immediate course correction. This is targeting families living on $2 per day through technology-enabled quality assurance and community-centered approach. They are providing that poverty doesn't have to mean poor education. They are proving that poverty doesn't have to mean poor education. Technology doesn't replace teachers, it empowers them. It frees them to do what only humans can do: inspire, motivate, connect, understand. Digital transformation is happening. The question is whether we are guiding it or letting it happen haphazardly. Let me show you 4 success stories that are bridging the digital divide right now. Kenya's digital initiative. 18,980 teachers trained, devices preloaded with content, ready to go from day 1. This is part of Vision 2030, Kenya's roadmap to becoming a middle-income country. They understand that economic transformation starts with educational transformation. Rwanda's smart education program, connecting 1,500 schools through a national education network. They are supporting their 2050 knowledge economy vision. Rwanda is saying we are not just going to participate in the future economy, we are going to lead it. Peru's Aprenda in Casa, 19% student continuity when the world shut down during the pandemic. Multiple channel delivery ensuring no child was left behind. They achieved 0.709 digital index score, demonstrating comprehensive digital capability. India's Digital India Initiative, over 1 million tablets distributed, virtual science labs, AI hackathons bringing cutting edge technology to remote villages. Skills development is the focus because skills determine futures. What's the key insight here? Successful digital transformation requires infrastructure investment, comprehensive teacher training, and robust offline capabilities. You can't just drop tablets in schools and expect magic to happen. You need internet connectivity, you need electricity, you need teachers who know how to integrate technology meaningfully into learning. And critically, you need systems that work even when internet fails, even when power goes out, because in many parts of the world that happens regularly. Digital is the tool, not the solution. The solution is thoughtful implementation that addresses real needs with proven methods. So, how do we actually do this? How do we move from crisis to transformation? Through a comprehensive 5-pillar framework with clear implementation timelines. Pillar 1, invest. Allocate 4 to 6% of GDP to education. This is not charity. This is investment with the highest possible return. Educated citizens drive economic growth, reduce healthcare costs, strengthen democracy, reduce crime. Every dollar spent on quality education returns multiple to society. Pillar 2, modernize. Shift to competency-based learning. Stop teaching students to memorize. Start teaching them to think, to create, to solve problems that don't have answers in the back of the textbooks. The jobs our students will have don't exist yet. Prepare them for the unknown, not for the past. Pillar 3, digitize. Invest in connectivity and devices, but do it smartly. Technology that sits unused because teachers don't know how to use it is waste, not investment. Infrastructure and training must go together. Pillar 4, govern. Strengthen oversight and accountability. Ghost schools must be eliminated. Corruption must be rooted out. Every dollar must reach the classroom, must reach the child. Transparency is not optional, it is essential. Pillar 5, empower. Implement holistic assessment beyond grades. Test scores measure a fraction of what matters. Can students work in team? Can they communicate effectively? Can they think critically? Can they adapt to change? These are the competencies that determine success, and we need to measure what we value. Now, the timeline. This doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen systematically. Year 1, foundation, policy reform and baseline assessment. Understand where you are, define where you are going, create the policy framework to get there. Year 2 to 3, pilot and scale, testing and expanding programs. Start small, learn fast, iterate quickly, then scale what works. Don't bet everything on untested ideas, but don't let perfection paralyze progress either. Years 4 to 5, integration. Achieving national rollout, the innovations become the norm, the pilots become policy, the exceptions become the standard. This is a roadmap. It's ambitious but achievable. It's comprehensive but practical. And it is proven in multiple contexts across multiple countries. Measuring what matters. Because here is the truth. What gets measured gets managed, and we need to measure what actually matters. Let me introduce you to the Digital Education Index. This is a diagnostic tool, a comprehensive framework for policymakers to track digital education deployment. It measures three key dimensions. First, students' readiness, enrollment, persistence, literacy, numeracy. Are students showing up? Are they staying? Are they learning the fundamentals that everything else builds on? Second, pedagogical capabilities, digital teaching practices, resources, personalized learning. Are teachers equipped? Do they have the tools they need? Is instruction adapted to individual student needs? Third, IT infrastructure, broadband coverage, electricity access, learning management systems availability. You can't run digital education without digital infrastructure. You can't personalize learning without data. You can't collect data without connectivity. This index has four strategic applications. Identify improvement areas. Know exactly where you are falling short, where investment is most needed, where intervention will have maximum impact. Track progress over time. Education transformation takes years. You need to see if you are moving in the right direction, if your interventions are working, if your investments are paying off. Set evidence based targets, not aspirational goals divorced from reality, but concrete objectives grounded in data and proven methodologies. Guide investment. Money is always limited. The index tells you where those limited resources will make the biggest difference. This is not bureaucracy for bureaucracy's sake. This is smart governance. This is using data to drive decisions, using evidence to guide policy, using measurement to ensure accountability. So let me bring this all together. We have evidence-based approaches proven in over 40 countries. This is not experimental. This is instead, this is tested, validated, refined through real-world implementation across diverse contexts. This is tested, validated, refined through real-world implementation across diverse contexts. We have a clear roadmap through the 5-pillar framework with actionable pathways. You don't need to figure this out from scratch. The blueprints exist, the pathway is defined, the methods are documented. We have measurable impact through the Digital Education Index, tracking progress every step of the way. You will know if you are succeeding, you will know if you need to course correct. Transparency and accountability built into the system. But here is what I want to leave you with today. Here is the message that matters most. The question is not whether we can transform education. We can. The evidence proves it. The examples demonstrate it. The frameworks enable it. The question is whether we have the collective will to act, because transformation requires courage. It requires investment. It requires sustained commitment even when results take time to materialize. It requires political will, financial resources, and social consensus. But the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of action. Every year we delay is another year that millions of children sit in classrooms learning nothing. Another year that potential goes unrealized. Another year that the future slips further away. We know what works. We know how to do it. The only question that remains is, will we? I believe we will. I believe we must. And I believe that together we can build educational systems that don't just prepare students for the world as it is, but empower them to create the world as it should be. Thank you.